Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here, Monday the 15th of October. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Of course, the site's kept free of charge by the adverts that we have around the screen here. So by you coming back and using the site regularly, using the adverts, that's what generates revenue. That means that the site's kept free of charge and we can keep it all up to date. Now, I've added on the indexes onto the site, the NAO, the Arctic Oscillation and the Pacific North American Oscillation as well. They're actually coming in from NCEP in the States, so it's thanks to them that we can show them to you. If you go to weatherweb.net, go into weather charts, and then down the left hand side here under ensembles you'll see NAO, Arctic Oscillation and PNA listed there. Going to start off with the 14-day Arctic Oscillation forecast, and notice it's kind of bouncing around the sort of neutral level, and if you look at the NAO, that's doing pretty much the same as well. So it's not really helping us out on deciding where the forecast is going to go, and it really is a tricky forecast at the moment. I've been struggling with this all day long. I mean, we've got to try and unpick the bones, but again I think we're back in an unforecastable mode as far as the weather's concerned. Remember that we went through this at the end of September, where we went to this unforecastable mode, and I think it's almost there again. This is the ECMWF on the left here. We've got the GFS on the right. Forecast for 7 to 10 days, the mean 500 millibar flow. Notice the ECMWF has this deep trough out to the west of the UK, west of Portugal for that time, as does the GFS. But just look, the GFS builds the heights much more to the north of the UK, wanting to build high pressure in here, whereas the ECMWF builds a ridge across the northern parts of the States, but links that trough through to North America. Now, the latest runs of the GFS are falling in line with the ECMWF, and it's really difficult to see this. I mean, I can see the position where the low that's here off Newfoundland joins in with this trough here, pushes this into central parts of Europe. That ridge gets squeezed up to the north. The low that's across North America kind of stays there, but this ridge gets squeezed through, and we get this idea of higher pressure building north of the country. I've been on about this so long, haven't I, about the high possibly building to the north, and I can still see that being the situation, you know, I really can, but it's so difficult to pin it down. I'm hoping for so much more tomorrow. Let's just take a look. Where did I want to show you? This is the ECMWF, how they see it for the next few days. This is today at midnight. Now, as we go on in 24-hour steps, you notice how on Tuesday we've got the low over the top of us. Look, Wednesday the low is still there, the trough forming out to the west of the country. For Thursday, there's Friday, the low is still there with the deep trough. There's Saturday, look, trying to link up a trough across the country with a further trough coming into the west. And then through Sunday, look, still got this low down to the south. It tries to build pressure up here towards the north with a ridge here towards the east trying to link through, but it just can't quite make it. And then we find that as we head in towards the 22nd, which is next Monday, that we've got a further trough out towards the east, look, and that kind of just hangs around through Monday. Now, it doesn't look right to me. It just doesn't seem a correct chart, and it's difficult to work out the way it's going to go, but I don't think it's that. Likewise, I really don't think it's the way the ensemble sees it either. I mean, if we load these charts up, you'll see here that what this does is it brings the trough in, very much like the ECMWF, forms a double low, look, builds the ridge out towards the east here as we go into the weekend, and then it keeps that low out towards the west, keeps the high pressure out towards the east with a low still there to the west, right the way through into the end of the month, although keeps this high pretty close by to the east and keeps a southeasterly flow. And you know what? I don't think that's the solution either. I don't think that is the way this is going to go. I've still got this feeling that towards the end of the month we're going to get into a northerly. We're going to see the ridge build to the west of the country, a trough to the east, and go into more of a northerly wind, which would bring cooler weather across the country. I still think 25th, 26th is the date that we have to watch for this to happen. So I'm in a bit of a quandary at the moment, as you can tell. I'm reluctant to go in for a long-range forecast here because I think it's just going to be of no use. You know, it's going to be little more than a guesstimate, and I'd like to do a little bit more than that. But let's come back to the next few days and see what we can make from these. This is the chart for midday today. You see low pressure across the country. Now, overnight tonight, what we're going to find is another area of low pressure coming through Ireland. It pushes heavy rain across Ireland, Wales and southern England during the early hours, pushes its northwards into tomorrow morning. So heavy rain Northern Ireland across northern parts of England by the time we get to Tuesday morning. Rain just clearing southeastern coast, but dry to the north and the south. Very windy conditions coming through Wales and the southern half of the country. This is going to be widespread gales. I think gusts could get to 45-50 miles an hour across England and Wales for a time during the latter part of tonight and the early part of tomorrow morning. Now for tomorrow morning, that low will be clearing away eastwards, but it's still got cloud and rain across Northern Ireland, North Wales, northern parts of England. North of that it's brighter with some sunny spells. South of that we've got wind and we've got sunny spells down there as well. And then into tomorrow afternoon, well, the rain lingers across northern England, but to the south I think it should become drier with the winds becoming lighter, and I think we should find some brighter conditions across Scotland as well. And both areas that kind of sandwich this area of rain should be largely dry. However, overnight into Wednesday we find another deep low forming down towards the southwest of Ireland. This pushes more rain northwards through Ireland, through southwest England, through southern Wales by the time we get to Wednesday morning. Drier for northern England and Scotland, perhaps a touch of frost here first thing. And then through Wednesday that rain spreads its way northwards during the day on Wednesday. Some pretty heavy bursts of rain to come across Scotland during the course of Wednesday and also through southern Ireland too. But for most other areas I think we're in for a day of broken cloud, sunny spells and very mild conditions, although showers on southern coasts. Into Thursday we're going to find an area of rain affecting eastern parts of the country. Still not quite sure exactly where that's going to be, but there could be some pretty heavy rain through central and eastern areas. Towards the north and the west it stays unsettled, more persistent periods of rain there and pretty windy as well. And then that low kind of hangs around into Friday, possibly generating some heavy periods of rain again. Most across northern England, but you can see that we've still got heavy periods of rain down across many central parts of the country too. And then eventually the low clears away. We find some cloud and outbreaks of rain down to the south through Saturday morning, but here's the ridge, look, trying to build in it. It's from now on that I think we've got to have very, very little confidence in the forecast, and really from there on in I think it's very difficult to pin down what's going to happen. Now I just want to take a quick look at how the total rainfall charts bear up through the next few days. I mean, this is how the GFS sees the rainfall for the next week till 7 AM on the 23rd, which is a week on Tuesday. You can see it brings some very heavy rain, look, across the southeast. We've got sort of 80-90 millimetres here. Drier it says across Wales and the Midlands, but then this wetter area again through Ireland, through southern Scotland, through northern parts of England. I actually think we need to be thinking of 50 to 70 millimetres of rain across much of England, Wales, Ireland and southern Scotland during the next week. I think that's more where this is going to be. So a very difficult forecast to produce for you today. Very tricky one to pin down. I really do hope to have more information for you tomorrow. But once again, thanks for watching. Thanks for keeping the site free of charge by using the adverts, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.